Now, Deion Sanders stirred up the ire of the left early in his coaching career because he had the audacity to be truthful. And for a group of people dedicated to the eradication of objective reality, they don't like it very much when you remind people of basic facts. But here's Deion doing just that.
Like old linemen, I look for dual parent homes,
right.
A strong father that they adhered to,
right.
Smart kid, at least 3.3 and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah, tough.
Well. I mean,
physical. I mean, offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I mean, like.
Mind-blowing stuff there. Look, there's not a person that doesn't realize that everything he just said right there is 100% true. But he didn't stop there. Deion also stirred up the ire of racial grifters and others on the left by leaving Mississippi, a historically black college, and went to Colorado, where he accepted a high-paying position. Here's him having to defend, for some reason, his decision to go to Colorado.
Not being about a location, but a destination. When you speak of that destination, what's that destination for you?
That means my calling is consistently to kids. Just because I'm not at a HBCU or historically black institution, that does not mean I'm still not called to our kids or just kids in general. I'm not called to a certain ethnicity. I'm called to all. So my words, the way I speak, the way I go about doing what I do, the way we went about our jobs, it wasn't just black folks clapping. It wasn't just white folks clapping. It wasn't just Asian or Hispanic folks clapping. It was a multitude of people clapping because the feeling, the stimulation that you gave them. So I've never been called to a single entity. My call has always been much larger than what the eyes would ever see.
That's right. He sold out on black people because he left one college football team with 99% black players to work for another team that has 90% black players. But of course, that doesn't stop the haters from coming and trying to find a way to hate this good and godly man. This past weekend, Deion Sanders experienced his first loss with the University of Colorado. And the team started 3-0, even getting ranked after a losing season. But jumping on the opportunity to bash Sanders, media outlets were quick to sound the alarm of defeat when this weekend he lost to Oregon. And of course, there were headlines that were quick to closet celebrate the fact that he lost. Here is Oregon's coach before the game saying that Deion Sanders is just playing for clicks, but we're playing for wins.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins.
You know, I don't think that's true at all. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first, I want to remind you of something I've talked about on the show before. That it is only when you do something of value and when you actually take a stand that people want you dead. It's only when you do things that matter that it puts a target on your back. Because if people don't know what you stand for, then they have nothing to attack. Very often, Christians get in the habit of thinking to themselves, oh, well, I'm just so loving and so benevolent. That's why nobody's ever in a disagreement with me. Well, it could be that actually you just don't stand for anything, so people don't know what to disagree with you about. But Deion Sanders is, to be sure, a polarizing figure, and mainly because he happens to be a very outspoken Christian and a very outspoken critic about the way sometimes the black family operates in America, and he wants to do something about it. And that's put a target on his back for many, many people. He also happens to be a pretty good coach. And because he's good at something, trust me, there are insecure people out there who will go out and find a way to attack those people. The people who are actually doing something are typically always the target of those who are jealous and not doing much with their life. Now, let me be really clear. I get it. It's possible to have like martyr syndrome and to think that somebody's attacking you and really they're just attacking you for good reason. Last episode, I talked about Andy Stanley and he said that in one of the clips. I'm not sure that I showed it, but in one of the clips that I was sorting through, he says, people are going to attack us for this stance and people are going to misunderstand us, but we just have to know and we have to stand up. And listen, the reason people are attacking Andy Stanley or quote unquote attacking him is simply because he's wrong. And these people are trying to hope and help that he turns in a different direction before it's too late. So yeah, people can attack you because you're dead wrong and doing bad things, but they also can attack you because you're standing up and because you have values. As long as you never stand for anything, there's no reason for anyone to attack you. So that brings us to the second point. Our culture celebrates mediocrity because it has lost a total sense of beauty. Because our culture is wildly post-Christian, we no longer know what to celebrate anymore. And so now when a person declares that they are not really the biological sex that their birth certificate says they are, somehow we're supposed to celebrate. We have a whole month dedicated to celebrating who people have sex with. I mean, who was it that made this joke? It was Dave Chappelle who made this joke about black people get 1 month in February and LGBTQ people get a whole month in the most fun month of the year in the middle of summer. So frigid cold versus summer, and what? These people get this just simply because they declared that they want to have sex with somebody different than what their biology dictates. Nonetheless, our society celebrates the kind of mediocrity that we see in the body positivity movement and in other things, and as a result of it, we no longer know what to celebrate. This brings me to the remembrance of Piss Christ. Maybe you guys are familiar with this, and if you're not, I submit it for your observation. A man stuck a crucifix with Jesus on it in a jar of piss, screwed the jar on, and then this supposed work of art was brought around different museums in the world to see this amazing and beautiful thing. Now, of course, this guy suggested that all the attention being drawn to this jar of piss with Jesus in it was actually a way of weirdly celebrating Christianity and not absolutely mocking it and defacing it. But the fact that this would even be at a museum and considered art is ridiculous. The reason something like that happens is because as we have taken away good from society, we no longer know what to celebrate as beautiful. Without Christianity, or without even a moral standard in society, with just my truth and your truth, there is no way in which we can understand beauty, because there is an objective nature to beauty. Sure, there is some subjectiveness to art, to be sure, but largely the things that are truly beautiful are a universal thing that draws all of us to it to recognize it as beautiful. That's why we instinctively know Van Gogh's Starry Night is beautiful, and Playboy and nudity is not art. We distinctly know deep down in our heart there is an objective quality to beauty and to the things that should be celebrated in society. And that's why Deion Sanders isn't as quickly celebrated, because Deion Sanders is actually doing something fundamentally good. And that's why when he lost to the Oregon coach, he didn't really lose, or at least he didn't lose in the most fundamental way. He didn't really lose because he's a winner in life, because he understands that his job as a coach is not only to win football games, but to produce men. Check out this clip where Deion says exactly that.
I'm a darn winner, man. That's what I do. Not only a winner, my winning is not based on games. My winning is based on life. I want these kids to graduate, to be fine young men, to open doors and yes ma'am and no ma'am, and yes sirs, no sirs, to be fathers, not baby daddies, right. To be real men that shows up on time and early, that if they say they're gonna do it, they do it. I want them to raise young women with grace and class and dignity. I want them to graduate. I want them to own things. We teach so much other than just football here. It's unbelievable. That's why I always say, if you send me a boy, I'm gonna send you back a man. And I mean that 100%.
Bravo. You see, Deion Sanders can never truly be a loser because he is a winner in life, because he set his heart and his mind on a value system that is higher than this world. Of course, the media and others will be quick to attack him because they want to try to find, holes in his armor and try to find a way that they can expose him for being a fraud. But the truth is that it doesn't matter what the media says, because he's not living for the applause of those liars in the legacy media. He's living for the applause of one. And as a result of it, he will get the applause of many people here on this earth, because he's actually doing something worthwhile. He understands that by and large, many of the kids that are on his team will come from an unstable family, come just with just a mother in tow and a father nowhere to be found. And he wants to step in and play that father role, because it may be the only father some of these boys have ever had in their life. See, he knows something that even the people who claim a religion on the left don't really know. that values and ethics must be imported to the next generation. That we can't just say, you do you. We can't just take the progressive attitude of forget what the past holds for us and any truth that's there. We're gonna create change, even if the things that we're changing don't need to be changed. We're gonna create a new way of doing the family, and it's just gonna be single women or single men. And we're gonna do that because we don't need to obey your Judeo-Christian belief of what the family looks like. We don't need your patriarchal, Bible-centered understanding of what a family is. We can recreate family in this nation, and we can do it any way we want because we are our own gods. That's essentially what people are finding over and over again doesn't really work. The inculcation of values to the next generation matters, and it needs to be done by men of value and men with ethics and men with hearts and with chests. And that's exactly what Deion's doing. And that's why he might have lost to Oregon, but he's winning the most important battle. And more of us need to join the fight. Whether it's your kid or maybe even somebody else's kid who needs a dad in their life, it's time for us to step to the plate and restore this institution that matters to society, perhaps almost more than any other. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if this was helpful to you, but most importantly, go with God.
So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Anything Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.